All right, so the first thing we're going to do is find, if you look at your diagram, you see we have this stone, we have a station stone, we have a station stone marker because that stone is missing. We have a station stone here, and we have one down here. So the first thing I'm going to do is go from the marker to the marker, but watch when I do it. So I'm going to only mark through the center. I only marked it through the center. Okay, I'm going over this. So that's what it should look like. Nope, just through the center. Don't use a marker, use a pencil. He needs a pencil. All right, so my other stone is the station stone to the station stone. I'm going to put a dot in the middle of the station stone. And I'm going to find my center. So you should have a X in the middle, and that is actually the center of the circle. From the stone marker to the stone marker. And then I do station stone to station stone. So here to here. And then this guy to this guy. All right, so now I'm going to find this line here. We talked about this line when we did the Google Earth. So I'm going to line it up, and I'm going to go through the center of the circle, which we found by the crosshairs.
The line next to the fieldstone through the center. Yeah, line it up with the center. And then make a line all the way to the center of the X.
You got it.
So then I drew through the line, through the center, and then I drew a dotted line on this side.
The opposite end is going to be a dotted line off the back, like she has up there.
Jesus.
Okay, so she went from.
So, Mr. Hotchkiss.
Yes.
Putting this one and this one would be okay? Or do you want me to put
Yes.
another one?
Easier to see that. My God.
So basically,
down there,
the heel stone that dot there, she went right through
The center.
center. Right from here. Draw a straight line through the middle.
Black Widows is.
Stop. And she has like hash marks.
Is it one block?
Okay. Do you want me to leave it in here when I'm done?
Mm-hmm. All right, so I know that this is 42 degrees. So what I did is I followed this line. I put my center on the circle, on my center part, or my crosshairs. And then I followed this line, and I know it's 42.
I mean, it's omnivore, right? What line is it? The spider?
And then while I'm at it, I am going to, nope, we'll just do that. And then I'm going to mark 0 and 180 while I'm at it. So I marked 90, and then I marked on my sides.
Okay, so what we did is we
Wait, so
did every
that's
30
I was doing every 20. I was going every 20.
Well, she can, so she doesn't draw me. Straight through. So it's 30, looking at 30, and you got the 60, 90. Actually, got it.
And then there's 60. Yeah, it's right there. Then there, I did 30 here.
Yep.
And then this
I don't see that one.
Alright.
Oh, you do have it. Okay, but you gotta change that number and also on it.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna move it. Yeah, no, but I'm gonna, I need you to draw
Ideally.
that line in like that, but draw it straight through to the other side, because you need it on the other side too. Line it up.
All right, any questions so far?
Looks like she has 270 written down there. 270.
I'm just drawing all the lines in, and Mr. Hotchkiss is going to tell you what he wants you to have on it.
Am I?
You are, because I'm not. All right,
What if I did it?
grab a colored pencil. Everybody have a colored
So,
pencil?
actually do the same goal in this one. 'Cause I don't see any time with the other.
We need a colored pencil for this one. So this time, if you look, I'm going to connect this marker and this stone, and it should be on the outside of the circle. And I'm going to draw.
Oh, that one, yeah. So yeah, 90 plus.
So I just color it.
Color them in. This is kind of the way it's at. You just
So my line is what it should look like.
Six, 90 plus 30. You got it. 120. 120 plus 30. 50 plus 30. 180 plus 30 is. Oh, that's 210.
Then there's smaller
You're right.
engines.
You're about to say it. Alright, 210 plus 30 is. 240 plus 30 is. I just heard you say it. Right. You just said the number she needs to say.
Next to that one, right?
40 plus 30.
No, that one's
270, yep.
that
You just said
one's
270.
288.
Whatever you said.
280. And the other one's 335.
Oh, that is one, yeah, 230. What is that? 270 plus 30, yeah.
288. Three. No, I'm sorry. It's two. Yeah, no, it's 335. Yes. That hash line there.
It's because of the new.
You said 10, I heard you say 10, 310.
Apart from the
Yeah,
new.
that's
10 plus 30 is. 340 plus 30 is.
West is 180.
Got it. Alright, that was done.
Chances are rev truck. That shit fucking.
All right, Mr. Hotchkiss is going to come and write all the stuff you need on there now. You have all the markers on there that he's going to talk about.
Because then we can't have you cover it with that, it's gonna be too dark.
Yeah, just do the lines.
That's fine. And did you pause it?
Nope.
It's still going?
Still going.
We're afraid that if we pause it, it won't work anymore. All right, you guys. So just real quick, I'm going to go through these important points. We did go through this. I'm like, this seems familiar. Like I've already done this. Okay, yeah.
Oh, we did, but
This is for those who weren't here. Gotcha. Right. So we just did this. We had the sunrise come up at 42 degrees. So let's just start at this side here. So I'm going to put sunrise. Let me zoom in on that. There we go. I'm at the 42 degree line. All right. This is sunrise at summer solstice, which in Old England it was midsummer. And they had a lot of parties at Midsummer's Eve. It was a big day.
It's huge.
Huge. They still do now.
One of the only times you can go into the circle.
Yeah, it could be. Ours is more of an Independence Day, but I think because this is June 21st, so July 4th is
Pretty close.
They still
Past it,
actually
yeah.
have ceremonies on that day that allow you to go inside.
Yeah, there's people milling all over the place.
Yeah, what is our date of our midsummer?
June 21st.
June 21st. It's the same for all of us, yeah.
June 21st.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to kind of crawl our way around here. So first thing I'm going to say is this is that slaughter stone. And remember, that slaughter stone is probably one of two that would have bracketed that sunrise. So it's not really a slaughter stone at all. It's just, I'm just going to say there's no evidence
So that thing right there, you draw a line.
of sacrifice.
You just draw that guy right there.
There's no evidence of any sacrifices. It's just a reddish tint to the minerals in the rock.
There's papers
Got it
above
right,
there
no
that says
evidence
what's
of
in the
sacrifice.
And then they're in the book.
Some are in the other books.
All right, over here we're missing one set of numbers. This was 0 degrees. It's also 360 degrees. So we'll just add those. That's all
Sorry,
right.
guys.
I'm just looking at my key here, so I'm noticing things.
Right here, right.
All
0
right.
degree,
Oh, good, you put those in
360.
already. So at 335 degrees, remember I was looking for the piece of tape on the ground? This is where sunrise is.
And then we're sliding down, right?
Let me put that up a little higher for you. That's where sunrise at the winter solstice.
You're gonna write sunrise at winter solstice. At winter.
So the sun would come up along this line right here. So if I was standing at the other side at the North Barrow at this station stone, I know you can't see it, but
Solstice means what again?
there you go. Solstice means standing still.
Really?
Means the sun is standing still,
Okay.
literally. It's Latin. So you guys know sol.
Shortest daylight of the calendar year.
Yep.
We just use the word solstice a lot, just like,
Mhm.
what exactly that means. So like the sun standing still, that makes sense.
I'm still amazed that they have figured all these angles out and things, so much geometric features are in here.
Do you think they knew the angles?
No.
You know what I mean? Like it
No,
just
I think
happened.
they made observations, and that's where they noticed it happened. And you notice that a lot of these points actually correspond with station stone, or I'm sorry, the Aubrey holes. So they correspond with this. So this,
So those Aubrey holes probably have a lot more to do with this than we.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and they may have something to do with how they planned it out for measurements.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you look at, for example, I'm just looking at one that goes like these, almost are in line with the center.
When you go there, can you see the Aubrey stones? There's
No.
no Aubrey
I
stones
didn't
around?
even know they existed until we did this.
Yeah,
There's no
I
holes?
might have read it and just kind of.
Were like holes in the ground where they were or anything?
they call them Aubrey holes. So I think there may be some indication there were holes.
There are, like as I was reading, there's some of them are still there, but not very many.
Yeah, I mean, look
Oh,
at
okay,
this.
so
This
there are
is
some.
this is the walkway, and so there isn't a place for a stone here anymore. So people walk on that. So, no, we're not done yet. All right, so going down to 288. This is the most southerly moonrise.
Most southern.
Yep. So if I was standing somewhere on here, this is the most southerly that the moon would rise. It would come up, and you would see this. It'd come up. If I was standing here looking this direction over the station stone marker, and I'm looking that way, I would see the moon rise in the distance. All right. And this might have had religious significance. It may have just been a way that they marked the passage of time. This could just be the very first clock.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. I like to think it had more.
The sun has more significance of the calendar than the moon, but the moon is on a different cycle than the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So it might tell you months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's roughly 12 moon cycles a year, but they're not perfectly aligned to our 12-month calendar. And so the moon cycle itself can shift. And so where the moon is throughout the year is going to be at a different place and time at any other time of the year. So let's, for example, say I'm going to go outside on a full moon, and I'm going to figure out where it's at by using an astrolabe. It's a type of measuring device. I don't know if I did talk about that before. But basically you need a protractor, you need something to look through to kind of help you, so maybe a straw, and then you just tie a string onto this, and I look up at the moon, I catch the string, and I write down the angle.
And you know what's funny? In math it's called an incometer.
An ankle meter?
Incometer.
Incometer, okay.
After
All
the
right.
Incas?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Yeah,
And then I could also, at that same time, I could take a compass, and I could take a compass heading on it, so I can find the angle this way and the angle this way from north. And I could track that every single day, and I would find that the moon's position changes. If I'm out the same time every night, exact same time, there'll be some nights I'm out there at that same time, and there is no moon in the sky because it's out during the day. And so it has its own rotational pattern, its own
Kind
cycle.
of like you guys. It has its mind of its own.
That's right. It's that man in the moon. He's messing with us. All right, so this is called the South
You guys have
Barrow.
this written down?
And I thought it would be useful to say what a barrow is. I actually looked it up yesterday because I know it's a small hill, but it's also, I'm going to say a hill, but it mostly is a burial ground.
And that's where they found maybe those bones.
Yeah.
So I can't, yeah, my B looks terrible. I'll erase that. So it
And
is
it's
a
interesting that they've only found
burial ground.
58 human remains.
I'm just going to rewrite it all
Not
together.
whole
It looks terrible.
remains, but 58
Parts.
different remains. And as I read, it seemed like it was not at this time when it was originally built. It was maybe later that it was added.
Oh, cool.
All right. And then right here, what's the ditch called again? Yeah, so it's a henge.
Henge.
So it's a henge. So I think the significance of these hills, there's two of them. There's a South Barrow and there's a North Barrow. In some of the other pictures, there was a building over the top of this one. This one did not have a building, but I think they were just kind of significant because they were burial grounds. They mark certain points of the year, the most southerly moonrise. Nighttime was a difficult time for anybody before electricity, right?
Yeah.
And so it was a scary time for them. And it's black at nighttime.
Especially if there's no moon out.
You know what
Yeah.
we did not talk about was where it was in relationship to the equator.
Oh, yeah, that's true. With this group. Yeah. We'll do it with the next one at least. Okay. So we got 270. We're going to keep moving around. So this right here, this is sunset at the winter solstice. So interestingly enough, I'm just going to go zoom this out for a second so you can see this. Sunrise was here. Sunset is here. It's about a quarter of the way around, right? So that was a really short day.
Yeah.
Sun would come up and the sun would set. And notice that it is exactly opposite of the sunrise at the summer solstice. Coincidence?
Which is the longest.
Which is the longest day of the year. I
But
don't
it
think
doesn't
so.
sunset until the other side.
That's pretty.
Yeah, the sunset for the summer solstice is way over here. I believe it's right there. Well, that's this one right here, this one. We'll get to that. All right, so this is, let me zoom back in. Sunset at the winter solstice.
Yeah, this should have that. You can see it. Video. I need to see video. Yeah, again, the other one. Check it out.
Need help, just let me know. Right now we're just writing it all down, so we did the hard part already.
All the way over here, we have 155 degrees. I'm at that one. And at this one, we have the summer solstice. Oops, spelled it wrong. Hang on. Sunset. So, you know, I was looking for the tape.
Longest Sunday, our longest sun for the day, not Sunday.
For the year.
Day of the week.
All right, and then the last thing you're going to write on there is this one here at 108 degrees is the most northerly. Can we see that? Okay, most northerly moon set. All right. Let me just zoom back out. Anybody have any comments, questions, or observations?
What was the last one you just put down?
Last thing I put down was the most northerly moon set.